Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Yes.
How are we feeling?
What a big change in 1 week.
What a big change.
You happy?
I'm happy. Are you?
Yeah, I was always happy.
No, you weren't. You admitted for everybody that you weren't happy last week.
Yeah, but I'm always happy. See? Think about that.
Welcome back to another episode of Sheena Interrupted. This is a special episode.
It is. Just like the last episode was special.
In
But
its
2
own-
episodes ago, that was just a normal, mediocre episode.
Well, that was the one where I told everybody about my new song.
Oh, that was also special. The one
Yeah.
before that was a shit episode.
No, it wasn't.
I see, we don't even know what it was. Mediocre episode. If you skipped it, don't worry, it's fine.
That's not true.
It was a great episode.
It was. It was fabulous.
We have to sometimes bury some of the episodes so only the real fans enjoy them.
That's true.
To let the new fans just think they're mediocre episodes.
Or why can't the new fans think that everything is amazing?
Because then it's not realistic. This is a good transition about this episode. Take
Realistic?
it. Yes.
Like life?
Realistic expectations on a long-term relationship.
Yeah. Welcome to the anniversary episode.
Realistic expectations episode.
It's a mouthful.
It's a lot.
Realistic expectations.
We just call it the episode.
No, I have a really good name
What?
for this episode, but
What?
it will require telling people what anniversary we just celebrated.
I don't care.
I don't care
That's for
either.
you.
I don't care.
Everyone will know then.
How long we've been married?
Yes, that we bought you in a market.
That's okay.
Okay, tell them.
Everyone knows that we have a 14-year-old child.
Yes.
So we've been married at least 15 years. Yes.
He was at our wedding, bro.
He was not.
He came with the... when
He
I
came with
traded
the-
my family's goats, you came with one.
The son?
Yes.
I think
But
after
he looked like me.
I think after all the videos that we put up this
Yeah.
week of Jay,
Yeah.
it's very, very obvious that he is 1000% your son.
It's
And
a
if
very
you haven't
complicated
seen-
situation.
If you haven't seen what we're talking about, this week we put up a series of those, like, there was this trend going around, toxic parenting phrases.
Yeah.
And having your kids react to them or like finish the sentence. But I made them all up, and the way that our kids reacted to them, the people in the comments was like the place to be after watching these videos. They were saying like the apple is still in the tree. Like the apple's not even fallen from the tree, or it fell right beside the tree. He is 1000% your son.
Are we also going to tell them about how the really unorthodox method in which we met because of your old business?
Sure, I'll go with it. I will bite. Wait, before I bite at this weird transition you're going through, I'm going to tell you, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for being here this
Free
week.
armpits on this show all the time. Every time she points at the button.
Right here, I'm going to put a link right here or a little button right here.
We're in episode 50 something and there's never been a single link.
Well,
so
we're getting...
Don't hold your breath.
No, there's always a...
You always put a link?
Always put it. I
So
always
do
put
they
the-
really subscribe?
They just ignore
You're
the button.
stuck at... you're not getting subscribers.
I know, but every week I have high hopes for our viewers.
Should
Every
we just
single
pause?
Oh, like pause the episode?
No, like let's just wait for them to do it.
Okay.
Maybe that's why.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's just... How long does it take to subscribe?
Like 10 seconds.
Okay, 10. 5, 3, 2,
2, 1.
1.
Okay.
Okay, so by now they must have.
Sure.
Okay,
And
if they
if you
can't
didn't,
figure
like,
that
this
out,
is crazy.
if they can't figure that out, it's okay.
Okay.
Like, you know,
All right.
I
So-
hope they can feed themselves.
This week we celebrated a really, really big
Yes.
anniversary.
So let me go back to how it all started.
Okay.
You used to do something that was legal back then, but is no longer legal.
Right.
Rent a womb.
I used to rent out my room.
I didn't have a woman in my life, so I bought an egg from the market. I traded 3 beans for an egg,
Yeah.
and I put the egg in the rent a womb.
It's good money.
And then
Yeah.
3 years later, the rent a womb ran away
Me.
with my child. I didn't know it was you.
Okay.
I just rented the womb.
Yeah.
I didn't get to inspect the womb.
Uh-huh.
And then 3 years later,
Yeah.
my very affluent family
Yeah.
was at the market for trades.
Okay.
And that's where we found you
Yeah.
and a child.
That looked just like you.
But that child looked just like me when I was young.
Yeah.
So that's why my family bought you
Oh.
at the tender age of 6.
Uh-huh.
And then we were married 2 years thereafter
Uh-huh.
at the age of 8.
Yep.
So I could be reunited with my boy.
Yeah.
We were going to slaughter you.
Me?
Yes.
Why?
To punish your family for running away with the womb.
Okay.
But then we realized you weren't related to that family. You were kidnapped.
Oh, what a
The
tragic story.
that rent-a-womb was a big, big problem.
Yeah.
They were just taking the eggs in the wombs and running.
Uh-huh.
So
So we got married.
we got married instead. It's the honorable thing to do.
Yeah. And here's a little
here
more
we
of
are,
our
20
story,
years later.
folks. 20 years later.
Yeah. And that's why our son
Mm-hmm.
is 14. Now it all makes sense.
Right.
There you go. Got it?
You're not a mathematician.
No.
Okay.
And then we had Jay.
Yeah. Then we had Jay.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah.
Oh, so we have another child?
Well, me and the egg, not you.
Huh.
That's why you never wanted to see that child as your child. That's why I didn't know if you wanted to talk about this.
Oh. I think what everyone is
He's a
thinking right
pirate.
now is, anyway,
He left.
we celebrated
He has a ship.
20 years. Just ignore him. Just continue to, we'll just keep going with the episode.
Yeah.
20 years. Big milestone.
Big money.
Big milestone.
Big money.
How does it feel being married to me for 20 years?
The same
As being married to me for?
8.
Really?
Yeah.
It does?
It took 8 years
Uh-huh.
to understand
Yeah.
that I will never understand. And then I was fine.
Oh.
That's the secret.
That you don't understand me?
It's like when I watch those speeches on TV
Mm-hmm.
and there's a sign language interpreter in the corner.
Yeah.
You can kind of get a gist of like whether they're getting animated or angry or sad or what, but you don't understand what they're saying.
I'm the sign language
Like your
animator?
brain tells you something.
Yeah.
That's what like the person who's talking is saying.
Yeah.
But you have to go by emotion.
Oh.
And the person's like, it's angry.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're like, and you're like, oh, they're happy. So I
Okay.
figured it out.
I don't feel that. I don't feel like I understood you at 8 years and it's the same.
What did you understand?
I had this really cool aha moment like about a week ago. I was reading this.
Oh, you figured it out 1 week ago.
No. But I
Wow.
had this like really
It's a
cool.
very timely episode, people.
I had a very cool
You too,
aha
after
moment.
19 years and 51 weeks, can finally understand the person you're with.
No, listen. I read something that was really, really nice. It was like, we set out on this, like when we got married, I had all these expectations. Like I was going to have this adventurous life with you. We were going to go on this big adventure and see the whole world.
We're going to hunt.
No, you were going to see like the extraordinary things that
Swim
life
with
had to
eels.
offer. And then I realized like, you don't have to go to the whole world. The extraordinary things happen in like the day to day. It's in finding yourself with each other. It's in like procreating and having these like
Is that
tiny
like a-
humans.
You just slip in something?
No, I didn't slip in any. I'm saying
When
it's
was
about like
procreate?
watching your
Egg
little
and
people.
your-
No, it's watching your
Oh.
little people grow and
Swim.
take like the
And win the
good and the
race.
bad from each of you. Like those are little miracles. Those are the amazing things that you get to do together. I love doing them with you. Like I love raising our kids together. I love this life that we've built.
But we also saw a lot of things.
We did, but
We saw a monkey steal your glasses
that
in
was
Bali.
horrible. I hated that.
We lived in Japan.
We did.
We've been to Hong Kong.
We have.
Been to Singapore.
We have.
Been to India.
Yep.
Been to Rome.
Yep.
Been to, well, I should say Italy.
Yep.
We've been to Paris.
Yep.
Been to Spain.
Yep.
Been to Portugal.
Yes. We've been a lot
We've been
of
to
places.
Canada.
Mm-hmm.
We've been to the USA.
Yes.
We've been to Cuba.
Yes.
Dominican.
We've been a lot
Mexico.
of places.
Belize.
Yeah. Tahiti.
Tahiti.
Mm-hmm.
Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting tired thinking of all these trips. Probably
Yeah.
forgot a few. Korea.
Yeah. We've traveled a lot. So I thought that this episode could be kind of like tacked on to our love story.
Oh, okay.
Like in the spirit of sharing with our listeners a little bit more
This
about
is cool,
us
'cause
and
we were
about
like telling them how we hated each other last week.
I know.
This is a good transition. It's very real.
It's very real. We are very real with all of you. So I thought we could do 20 questions
20
for
questiones.
20 years.
Okay, you have 20 for me,
I have
or you have questions for us?
20 questions for us.
Okay.
If you don't want to answer, I could answer. If I don't want to answer, you could answer.
Okay,
or we
let's
could
try.
just alternate.
Okay, let's try.
And they
But
have different-
alternating is pointless because you're the one looking at the order of the questions. You'll just pick the ones you want. You'll just say,
sure.
oh, questions 1, 4, 7, 8, like that.
The
You won't
person
do
who
one.
does the work gets to choose.
That's true.
So then,
Yeah.
okay, so
It's like
question,
in the kitchen.
huh? Yeah, like in the kitchen, the person who
Does
gets
the work gets to chew.
not choose.
Juice? You want juice? I can't see you or hear you right now.
Why not?
I don't have the glasses, and we were partying like animals yesterday.
You don't need glasses.
How much of that champagne did we drink yesterday?
It didn't have alcohol in it.
Yes, but how much did we drink?
A lot.
Yeah. So I have like a non-headache right now.
From like
From
a
my
non-alcoholic
yeah.
hangover.
I'm non-forgotten a lot of things today.
So do you want to tell everyone what we did last night? That was really
I
sweet.
don't, I non-remember. I non-blacked out. I
Okay.
woke up with such a non-headache. You tell them.
It was really, really,
I'm
really
glad I don't have
sweet.
a tattoo on my face, that's for sure.
Like a tiger.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going to happen. I woke up on the roof. Or as they say in Massachusetts, on the roof.
You did not.
And there was a tiger.
Okay.
And I'm so sunburned. That's a movie. And then a monkey jumped out.
So yesterday we went downtown to Boston.
Yes.
We had
Because we live in Boston.
We
We're one
had-
of those people that live in the burbs like, oh, where are you going today? I'm going to Boston. Like you
had-
live there, don't you?
we had a
kind
really
of.
lovely staycation at the Newberry Hotel.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
Yes.
I had no idea. He just said, pack your
Snow boots,
hiking boots,
bug spray.
socks,
You have to throw them off the scent.
2 bathing suits.
Yes. One for
A
me, one for
winter
you.
coat?
You brought two pieces. That was ridiculous.
You said 2 bathing
Yeah,
suits.
I want one for me, one for you.
You
I looked ridiculous in that bikini. I didn't even wax my stomach. It was the weirdest thing. That lady in the spa was so confused. I thought I looked okay, but she was not having
You
it.
looked great.
Yeah.
So we went to dinner at this amazing restaurant in Boston. Asta Boston.
It's like hasta la vista baby, but without the la vista baby.
7 courses, all vegetarian.
Yeah.
No idea what we were getting.
It was
like,
great.
We didn't choose, we didn't pick, we didn't order. It just showed up. It was
Yeah.
great. They did a pairing with non-alcohol. It
Too
was
much
amazing.
I drank.
It was
Drank too
amazing.
much.
It was a great meal, and then we went back to the hotel. We had a night there.
Mm-hmm.
And what I wanted to actually share with you was we did such a big trip for our 10-year anniversary.
What did we do?
Well, we
We
celebrated
went to the Mexican restaurant. We walked to our 10-year anniversary.
11.
Yeah, 11 we did
Because we
well.
didn't do anything big for 10, and we both
And you didn't
felt
speak
like
to me for 1 year.
we both felt like we should do something for
Did
10.
I tell you guys about the time that you didn't speak to me for 1 year? Maybe we should start there. Because they know about the time you
It'll
starved
come
me.
up in the question.
Oh, it will? Okay, should we
I'm
should
sure.
leave it? Okay.
I think it'll come up in the question.
But you guys want to know the time
Yeah.
that she didn't speak to me about. You didn't think we were making it to 11.
Maybe.
You were
slightly.
like Googling mediators
No,
and
I
stuff.
was not. But so we celebrated. We did a big trip for 11, and we both felt like we have to celebrate. This is a milestone. This year, I really did feel also that it was a milestone, but I didn't feel the need to have this like pomp and circumstance.
You know what that is called now?
What?
I'm making up a term.
What?
This is going to catch on.
Okay.
But I want everyone to at least give credit to the Sheena Interrupted podcast.
Okay.
This year
Yeah.
was a milestone.
A milestone?
Yes.
That sounds horrible.
It's a beautiful term.
Why?
Take that back.
It sounds like a kidney stone.
No, it's not a milestone that's like you got to go crazy.
Milestone is a big moment.
A milestone is a big moment that you don't have to celebrate like a crazy person. It's something you celebrate with your
Internally.
own circle.
But we did that
Celebrate milestone.
But we celebrated 10 years, just the two of us.
No, but we had to take planes and go and sit in LA on transit for another 12-hour flight. That's not a milestone. That's a bloody milestone. You have to go miles.
Yes.
Milestone is you can drive there.
Milestone sounds like a
Please,
problem with
that's
like a
you have
medical
a problem with your acceptance of new terms. Please leave a comment if you think milestone can catch on.
Okay.
I think that's a beautiful term.
Great.
This was a milestone. It was a milestone that we didn't have to go crazy.
I did not think anything mild of it. I thought you did a really, really lovely job.
I did.
I think that it had just the right amount of like
Circus
secrecy.
animals?
No, secrecy. Like I didn't know what was happening, but I knew something was happening. But it wasn't this massive like grand gesture for anybody. It was just for us. And it was really special. And it had all the right components, including the random friend of mine that like popped out of the elevator. I know you didn't plan that.
I tried to put her in a cake. But she said
But
she doesn't do that
really
anymore.
fun. Like my one of my dearest friends from New York just like popped out of the elevator.
Yes.
It had all the right components.
That
had
was not planned.
I know. It had a little bit of surprise. It had like quiet time for us. It had delicious food. It had intimate moments. It had like we watched TV. We did self-care. Like it was great. We did a massage this morning. It was all the right pieces. You crushed it.
What about breakfast?
Crushed it. Breakfast in our bathrobes that had like were personalized. It was perfect. You crushed it.
So next year,
You could do your milestones or whatever.
Can we just do this over and over again?
Sure.
We'll just relive the same.
Love that.
Yeah. Okay. Done.
Okay, done.
Make this a short. I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay. May you all be blessed to be able to get it done right once, so you can just cut and paste every year in the future. Perfect. Okay.
Question number 1.
Okay.
Should we take a break for a word from our sponsors?
No sponsors.
We have sponsors this week.
Who? Actually hired someone to plan this birthday. I may or may not have found them somewhere. You know where?
Indeed.
In the time that you've listened to this, 8 people have found jobs on Indeed.
Just wait.
No, there's more. $100 in Sheena credit. $50. $150. How much credit?
I have to read this.
No. Let's use this as the ad now.
Okay.
Indeed will appreciate this ad because people are still listening. They're not skipping this. This is in our show. It's integrated.
When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need.
Yeah, I remember that line.
Stop struggling.
Yeah,
to get
why
your
do
job
people struggle?
post seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored job.
Yes, I told you.
Help you stand out. And hire fast.
Look, I'm remembering this. It's proof that it works.
It is.
How much is the money? I want to put up a
With
job
sponsored
posting.
jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. And it makes a huge difference. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs.
Yes, you get to pick who you want. How many people got a job while we did this ad?
23 hires.
23 hires. I told you, people get jobs while we do commercials.
It's true.
Wait, do the part where you tell them how much money they get.
There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job
Hire someone
credit
just to use the credits.
to get your jobs. More visibility at Indeed.com/Sheena.
If I had to do this
Yes.
and I didn't have a contact
Yes.
to put this together,
Yes.
I probably should have hired someone because it's not easy.
And there are people that know exactly how to do a certain job, and
Exactly.
you can find them on Indeed.
Yeah. Well, so
Just-
now are we in the episode or are we still in
we're
the ad?
not.
Nobody
Just-
knows. Nobody knows. That's the beauty of this.
Just go to Indeed.com/Sheena right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/Sheena. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring?
Yes.
All you need is Indeed.
Yes. Okay. So I connected with the team at the Newberry.
Yes.
They do so many things that we don't even know about.
Yeah.
I don't know if other hotels do this. Like, if you want to do something special,
Yeah.
they just ask you,
Yeah.
okay, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And then you say something, they're like, okay. Then
Did
I
you-
got more aggressive because
Did
they're
you say
saying,
like
okay.
something random?
Of course.
Did they not actually monogram, or like, did they not actually put names on bathrobes? Did you just make that up and they just magically did that for you?
I don't know how these things
Because
work.
we left the hotel with bathrobes
And a bed.
not a bed.
You tried to steal the bed. I said I was down.
You can't steal a bed.
Just take it. You say, I didn't know. Like how people take the robe. And they're like, oh, wait, I can't take that. I didn't know.
We left with
should just take the
robes
bed.
that had our names on them.
That was
Like
extra.
this. That was extra.
I don't think you can. But if you want that,
Yeah.
like people listening, you want to go celebrate, your partner likes robes
Yeah.
like mine because she likes hanging them in the closet. You should wear robes out.
I
You have
will.
so many. Just
know.
wear them out.
I love a
You
good
just
robe.
if you newspaper, slippers, and a robe, just walk around the city. Like you should walk around the block. They'll be like, "Oh, that crazy lady with the robe is here."
I need like a nest or something in my hair and
No
like, a
problem.
toothpick
I
coming
get
out of
you.
my
Yeah,
mouth.
if I should have told me, they would have given you all of that. We got tea service. They left the kettle, the tea.
Yeah.
The best part was I said to them, because we got ready there before we went for dinner, I said, can we have this set up so that when we come home, there's a surprise?
Yeah.
Like I didn't want it to be all when we first got there.
Yep.
So when we first got there, they themselves put a nice little note and something that was very nice of them. And then you felt like, okay, this is great. Like
Yeah.
we have the space. It was a really nice room.
Yep.
And then when we came back, that's when all the other stuff was there. So it was very nice.
really sweet. It was really so.
Okay, so
to
what's
all
the question?
people-
What is happening?
to
What are you
all the
talking all
people
about
that
all
made
this?
that made this trip special? Thank you. It was very, very kind of
Yeah.
you. Okay, question number 1. What is one thing I did in our first year of marriage that made you think, "Yep, I married the right person"?
It's not something you did. It's something you didn't do. You didn't change. We changed the environment. We moved. We both had everybody in Montreal. And we needed a little bit of distance. We were young. We wanted to sort of find our own relationship. And I had the great job opportunity. So we moved. But in that move, I went to work 5 days a week and you stayed at home. So the whole environment changed.
Yeah.
But your personality didn't change. We still giggled, we still laughed, we still had our relationship, which I think for many people would have been more difficult.
Right.
So that would be my answer.
That's nice. What song reminds you of our relationship? That's.
Oh, I know which one.
Which one?
Punta la gasolina, dame la gasolina. Brrr. That one?
There is a fast song that, or like a fun song that reminds me of you.
Sean Paul song?
No, actually,
The
yeah.
temperature?
Yeah. I got the right temperature for sure.
I can only juggle to that
reminds me
song.
of you when you juggle.
That's
no,
I can
there's
only
a
juggle to one
it's,
song.
It's by Kevin Little. Turn me up, turn me on, da 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 da. Go right on around to me. You got me going crazy. That reminds me of you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the one
yeah,
that
yeah.
reminds me
Yeah,
the
yeah,
most of
yeah.
you is
But it's not about me, it's our relationship, no?
of our relationship.
Okay. Which one?
I think that's the one, that Kevin Little song. Or You've got away with me. Somehow you got me to believe in everything that I could be. I've gotta say, you really got away. Ooh. Remember that song?
Shania Twain.
Shania Twain. I sang that
She
for
came
you.
to our wedding.
She did not.
She sang at our wedding.
That was me.
Oh,
Yes.
That
I
was
sang.
you?
Yes, and I sang, but I didn't sing that
now
one.
you tell me?
I didn't sing that one to you.
Yeah, I know, but she came to our wedding.
No, I sang.
I heard her song.
I sang this one to you when we got engaged. I sang "You're Still the One" at our wedding.
That's such a crazy song to sing.
Why? You're
It's like
still
of
the
all of
one
them,
I
I'm
run
like
to,
after the
one that I belong to. You're still the one. That's like a song I should sing to you now.
why you don't sing that?
For life.
At the end we do songs.
Okay,
no?
fine.
Okay.
So that's "You've Got Away" and Kevin Little. Turn me on.
We never listened to that song though.
We danced to it.
This is like 19 years ago we danced to that
Yeah.
song.
No, maybe even
Kevin
before.
Little has gained 85 pounds.
Maybe even
goes
before.
by
I think
Big
it's
Kev
when
now.
we were dating that we danced to that song.
He goes by Big Kev.
Okay.
Kevin XL.
Okay, next question. What is something about me that you still don't fully understand, but love anyway?
I don't understand much. I just
I
like
think
started
you
that.
understand me pretty well.
It's like watching sign language.
Is it really?
Yeah.
You really don't understand me?
I don't understand. I understand that I don't understand.
Okay.
That's a big
Yeah,
thing.
I guess.
You make no sense to me.
But you still love me anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you make no sense.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how that works. I told you already. It's like Wi-Fi. I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Like, I depend on it, but
Yeah.
don't ask me questions about how it... like, what is happening.
Okay.
Like, you do some really random things.
My God.
Like, I can't understand sometimes.
Like what?
Like, if you're wearing all black
Yeah.
with, like, a red belt,
Yeah.
and then you'll have white and black and red sneakers,
Yeah.
and you'll have a black jacket
Mm-hmm.
and a suede brown jacket. And you'll say, which one should I wear? Or you'll come wearing the brown jacket. And I'll be looking at myself, be like,
Maybe the jacket's new and I'm just really
yeah.
excited to
That's
wear
what I'm
the jacket.
just saying, just okay. All right. That's fine. I don't
You
know
know,
why.
a lot of people who see me dressed,
Yeah.
they're like, wow, you look great.
You stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody does that. They don't think like this. Like, if you started
Thank
wearing
you.
2 different shoes, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with anything you do.
Yeah.
I have no problem with you roaming the roads in your robe. Like, I'm fine. I have no problem with that. You want to put birds in your hair? Fine. I don't, like, that's fine.
I
It won't
put a
change
honey
anything.
pot in my hair.
Do
once.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's all good. You're a very loving, crazy person. For me. I think we're all loving, crazy people if you succeed in your relationship. If you want to try to actually, like, we're not at that next level.
Of?
Maybe in the next 20 years.
Of what?
Like, actually understanding the inner workings of the other person.
I don't think you do. Like,
Yeah,
I
we're
don't-
not there.
No,
You
but I
might
don't
be
think you
some
ever get
couple-
to that point of like understanding completely, do you?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, we'll let you know.
It'd be a little boring
What?
if you know everything.
I'm boring?
No, it would be, I think.
It would be boring if you knew everything?
Yeah, if you're like, oh, okay, then I don't have to ask you anything. I could just like give you peach tea.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, do you want peach or chamomile?
Yeah.
And you look at me and be like, what kind of a crazy question is that? You know I only want peach. And I'd be like, oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, I'll give you the peach. The next day I ask you want peach or chamomile? You'd be like, what do you? Why are you asking me that? Who drinks peach? And I'd be like, you're right. Here's the chamomile. Like when earlier I would have said, what's wrong with you? You told me yesterday it's peach. Now I'm like, oh, the inner control has switched.
But that's everybody. That's
I
all
agree.
of us.
I agree.
We're allowed to have different choices every day.
Yes, but most of us don't acknowledge that's what's happening. Then it
Okay.
creates tension in the relationship.
Uh-huh.
If you acknowledge it,
Yeah.
and then you also have the self-awareness to say, oh yeah, I'm also a little bit nuts.
Yeah.
It's so much easier.
Yeah. Cool. I love
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Oh, my turn to ask you a question.
Go ahead. What was a moment in our marriage where you felt most supported by me?
Didn't I just answer?
I'm reading the question.
Okay,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
answer.
Yeah, okay, you answer.
This is a moment in our marriage where I felt most supported by you.
Yeah.
There have been many moments over the last, like, I want to say 5 years that, like, I can name.
Yeah.
But the one that I keep going back to.
Which hazel pads?
No.
No? That
No.
squirt bottle. Shush.
No.
No? I'm sure it was that. Was that periwinkle bottle?
No.
What's it called?
After Jay was born?
What is that called, that bottle?
It's not a periwinkle bottle.
I
That's a
don't know.
color.
Yeah, it wasn't that color.
There was a moment where we were
That-
actually in this space.
When I fought that dog?
No, we were in this room. We were sitting at a table, and I was doing an interview for, like, MSNBC or something.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
When you were discussing
Like
cryptocurrency.
money markets.
Yeah.
I don't know how I was invited on a show to talk about, like, on money markets. I was asked to answer a few questions about something to do with social media,
No,
TikTok.
the impact
The TikTok was
financial
happening.
impact
Yeah,
if
the impact
you-
TikTok was having on me, if it stayed, if it left, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
The business was still very, very new. I had been home with the kids for many years, and I was just starting to feel a little bit comfortable online. Definitely not like making these big statements. And it felt like a really, really big deal. And I remember you sat right across from me. Do you remember this?
Yes.
You sat right across from me at the table, and I had my laptop that I was on because it was a Zoom call, or an interview, and I had messages open on the side, and you had your laptop across from me, and I was answering the questions. And if you had anything to add, you like texted me on the side so that I could build it into my response. And that whole interview, I felt like we were doing it together. We were almost like holding hands and doing the entire interview together. And I remember finishing that interview and thinking to myself, it's really cool that I have a partner that is willing to just pause everything that he had going on for those 15 minutes to just sit there and hold my hand through this entire interview. That was really, really special.
How come you waited 5 years to tell me the story?
I told you then.
No. Probably said, stop texting me. I'm trying to talk to the man on Money Market.
Did not do that.
Like, is it the S&P 500 or is it the NASDAQ that's up?
It was really like very overwhelming.
We don't do that anymore. That was just a bit. You do them all on your own.
I do them now on my own. But
Yeah.
in the beginning, I really feel like there was a lot of, even though I may have known what I wanted to say, or you just gave me a lot of comfort by just being there too. I felt you're very
Look how
good
far
at-
you've come. You used to do money market interviews. Now you're walking around in a robe in the neighborhood. That's how you know you've made it. There's an article about more of you on MSN this week.
Yeah.
These money people love your articles. They keep picking you up.
Okay, next question.
Yeah. Number 2.
Number 2. Do you want that question, or should we?
I haven't heard the question.
Okay. What's your favorite photo of us, and what makes it so special?
I cannot disclose that.
Just tell
photo.
me, what is it?
I have a series of photos. Like they were taken at the same time.
Okay.
And this is, I'm sure there are others, but there's that one set that I remember from Christmas time in our apartment before we got this house, where you're wearing a Santa hat and glasses and you're being very childish. I like that one. So this is very interesting, right? Those same glasses were a Christmas gift. And now, if you're at the mall and you saw those glasses and you liked it, you just buy them and come home. It's a very different world we live in right now compared to where we were.
Yeah.
But do the laugh. Yeah, this laugh. I loved it. Why don't you do that anymore?
He was like one of those things
I'm
that
so
was
happy
making
when
you
that happened.
laugh every
I
time.
love that. So why it's a hilarious thing when someone does that. I can't help it. Why did you stop doing that? I like that.
Okay,
do that
cool.
some more.
I'll keep doing that. Okay. Next
Number 6.
section.
This is you now.
This is the next section. Humor and chaos. What is the most ridiculous thing we've ever fought about?
Okay, I'll take this one.
Okay, go for it.
It's not the ridiculous things you fight about. It's for people who have either just had kids or are going to have kids.
Yeah.
No talking
Yeah.
between 12:30 a.m. and 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Those 5 hours
My parameters are larger than
but
yours.
just 5 hours,
No, I think
no
7.
talking. There's no talking.
11 to 6.
There's you can only ask for milk, diaper, like you can make whatever hand signals you want to make. There's no talking.
Yeah.
If it requires more than that, do it yourself.
Yeah.
For either of you.
Yeah.
There's no communication.
Remember when you burnt the milk?
Yeah.
That was a bad fight.
I don't remember even fighting.
I thought you did it on purpose.
Why would you do that on purpose?
But that's like how tired and like sleep deprived we were.
I think in those hours you fight, you go back to sleep, you wake up, and you're actually not certain if you fought in your head or if it was real.
Yeah.
That's another. I don't remember the fights.
Yeah.
I remember being angry.
Yeah.
I remember you being angry.
Yeah.
Like, not in any one particular moment. I'm talking about the anatomy of a fight.
Yeah.
Somebody thinks they're right, the other person thinks they're right, and then you have conflict, and then it builds over time. It gets diffused quicker if one person acknowledges they were wrong.
Yeah.
But if there's some gray area where both were somewhat right, then it just escalates, it builds, then it's had this, crescendo where it explodes like a volcano.
Yeah.
And then you have to come back after that.
Yeah.
And with those moments, you don't remember what it is, but you remember the anger that fuels it, and you remember not liking that feeling.
I think the thing is for fights is there's in relationships there's like a few what's the word?
Peanuts.
No, usual suspects.
Yes.
There's like a few triggers
yeah.
or a few insecurities that get triggered.
Yeah.
And at every point when you have a fight, you can, more often than not, you can find that thread.
You can trace it back to something.
You can trace it back to that same usual suspect.
Yeah.
And I think when you figure those things out, one of ours was like, I didn't feel like you understood what I was sacrificing or what I was doing, and then you thought that I felt like I took you for granted and I didn't realize that the sacrifices that you were making or how hard you were working. I think that's one that we've kind of moved through. But no, one of the dumbest
ones. You remember
ones,
a good one?
No, one of the dumbest ones I feel like we fought about was you put my milk in the bottle warmer.
I put it on the yard.
No. You put my milk in the bottle warmer to heat it up.
Yeah.
So that I could sleep one morning.
Yeah.
And then you went back to sleep and you forgot about it. And then when Jay got up to cry again, you went to go get the milk and it had boiled over.
Oh.
And so I had to get up to feed him, to nurse him.
Okay.
And I remember being so angry and thinking you did it on purpose.
I don't remember that. I don't remember the fights.
Yeah.
I don't remember what was said.
Yeah.
I remember, it's almost like my memory is wiped.
Yeah.
I remember the emotion,
Yeah.
which I think is beneficial.
Yeah.
So I remember not liking it.
Yeah.
But we go through these scenarios where, imagine the garage.
Yeah.
Okay, but when it's fully open, there's good breeze, good flow. Mm-hmm. Then something happens and you close it a little bit. Mm-hmm. But it's still open. You're going. Then it's closing. Mm-hmm. And then you're communicating. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing real in there. It's pretty blocked off. It's just the essentials. And that's where your own self-preservation, your own ego, your own everything says, I don't need this. Mm-hmm. Even though that flow is impacting both of you. Yeah. Like, you're not as happy, they're not as happy. And when you're in a really good place, and you and I have had more of those moments now where we can go to one another and say, I'm having a really good day. Yeah. I know you're having a day. I know you're having a bad time. Yeah. Take from me. Take what you need. Yeah. I'm good. Like, what do you need me to do? Yeah. And those are the most effective ways to open the gates again. Yeah. But they're hard. You don't always get that because
sometimes you both have your period at the same time.
Yep. And they get in sync, I heard. They do. So if there's...
Did I even get to tell my story of why I think that guys have their period too?
You did.
Did I tell the story?
Yeah.
I do think that men have like cycles and they're like their hormones also go a little crazy sometimes, and they have a right to feel emotional as well.
Good.
And I don't think that it's a monthly cycle, but I do think that maybe a quarterly cycle.
So when you are in a good place...
Yes.
And your partner is jabbing you,
yes,
because they're in a bad place, so that's just their way of lashing out. Yeah. When you're in a really good place, you can go up to them, you can hug them, and say nothing. Just you don't say that's okay. You don't say, oh, I know you didn't mean that. Oh, you don't have to apologize. None of that snarky stuff.
Just I love you.
You just go and say, I'm in a really good spot right now. I've got this for both of us. What do you need?
What is my most...
Are you jumping again? You're cheating.
Is it my turn to answer?
I just talked for 46 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Do the next one in order.
Oh, okay. This is another song.
Why are you pretending like you don't know?
If our marriage had a theme song, what would it be? What's that song you made up with your kids?
Gasolina, that one.
You made up a song with the kids. Something about a hole in my rickshaw.
Oh, by Keith Urban? We made up a singer also. He's an Indian country singer.
There's a hole in my rickshaw. And the children are falling through.
Yeah, and the children are falling through.
But I don't know if
hole in my rickshaw.
If it's a theme song for
the only thing bigger than the hole in my rickshaw is the hole in my heart when I'm missing you. Why did you say that to people? That was our secret family song.
That's the one.
Keith Urban.
Keith Urban. That's our theme song.
What does our family have to do with rickshaws?
I don't know.
Why are there holes in them? Why can't we have a proper rickshaw?
What's my most annoying habit that you've secretly grown to tolerate?
There's one now that's bothering me more and more.
What?
I have to figure this out.
What?
It's becoming a puzzle for me
What
now.
is
It's
it?
kind of scaring me a little
What
bit.
is it?
NGL. It's this hackathon every morning. You sound like a woman that smokes 5 packs of cigarettes for the first hour you wake
How
up.
can it irritate you?
I don't understand it. How can someone do that? No, every morning. Like nonstop. I'm scared. You're a singer. You're not supposed to do that to your vocal cords.
I can't help it.
That's why I'm going to look into this.
But you're like irritated by
No,
it.
I'm not irritated.
You are. I can
yeah, a
see
little
it.
bit. I'm like,
Every
what is
morning you're like,
happening?
What's going on?
What is happening?
Drink some water. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
and you're
I
like,
did.
You're like, I did, but I'm
Drink
still
some
gonna cough. Like, you wake up and go smoke cigarettes at night?
No.
When you walk around the neighborhood, are you smoking cigarettes and giving children candies from your robe?
No.
Then stop coughing like that in the morning. It's like weird. It's like Marge from The Simpsons. What are her sisters? Those two sisters, yeah, Fran and Dran are all smoking. Marge's sisters is how you cough in the morning.
Next question.
Okay.
I'm going to skip this chaos
What's my
one.
annoying habit that you now like?
You know what you do? We'll sit in bed and we'll be reading, okay? If you
And I'll take
wanna
my shirt off and lean over and say, give me boochies.
If
You've been doing that.
No,
I think our relationship is going
If you
up.
want to read, then you read. Okay, but if I want to go to sleep, I shut off my side of the lights, I put my book down and I go to sleep.
Yeah.
But if you want to read,
Yeah.
no, if you're ready to go to bed, then everybody has to go to bed.
No.
Yes.
I tell you go to sleep.
No. I stay awake, but then you'll do your shirt thing and you'll do this, and then you'll say, "Okay, enough with the book, Mama. Let's leave."
No. I only say that.
Yeah. Like especially when I'm at the end of a book.
Done giving boochies,
when
then
I'm
I
at
say
the
that.
end of a book and I have like 3 chapters left, you're like, "Come on, let's go to sleep."
No, I don't say that.
You
My
do.
favorite part of that
Yeah.
is when you don't go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because then I get boochies.
Yeah, but if I'm so engrossed in my book,
I bought you a Kindle, so you need one hand to turn
I
pages.
don't want to do this.
That's
and
the problem.
I just want to read my book because I just want to like enjoy my book, and I
You
don't
used
want
to complain
Oh my God.
that you need both hands to turn a page.
Yes.
I solved that for you.
Yeah.
I made the pages digital. You could turn with one thumb.
Yeah.
That worked for so long. I got boochies. I was happy.
Yeah, but-
do you know there's a direct relationship correlation of our joy and giving of boochies?
You asked me what it was. I'm
Yeah.
telling you what it is.
Okay.
Okay. It's not going to change.
No.
Okay, memory lane. What's a vacation or trip you'd relive in a heartbeat?
For our 10-year anniversary,
We went to Mexicali,
we also
the
stayed
Mexican
local.
restaurant down the street.
We walked.
Walking distance.
So for our 10-year anniversary,
Yes.
for those of you mathematicians out there,
Yes.
it is our 20-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Our daughter is 11.
Yeah.
So for our 10-year anniversary, she was 7. That rhymes, but it's not true. She was 1.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go far for that. I was thinking we can go somewhere, within 4 or 5 hours. So there was a place in Mexico that I wanted to go to. Unfortunately, this area was hit by some sort of disaster the year prior. So this place was being rebuilt.
Like
And
5-star hotel. It was like a really beautiful,
nice resort. So you have to go back one step for this story to make sense. So when I was 4, I had a car, and my car's name was Jones.
Oh my God.
Okay. So, forget Jones. So when we got married,
Yeah.
we were not in any sort of financial place to take the honeymoon or the trip that Sheena always wanted. And before we were married, she said to me, when we were talking about it, without any expectations, we were both so young, but almost innocently, I want to go to a place that has one of those huts on the water where you can like jump off your balcony and you're in the ocean.
Yeah.
And that, I lodged that in my head and I said, yeah, that's great. Then I started looking at what it costs and where these huts are located.
They're not close.
And they're not close.
And they're not cheap.
They're not close, they're not cheap. So I told Sheena, we can't go to one of these places for our honeymoon.
Yeah.
Because we can't afford to go to one of these places for our honeymoon. And we just did a patchwork sort of a honeymoon. And I said, but I will take you. Just give me time. I was just going to start my job. And I said, yes, this is one of the things we will do. And she said, how much time? And I said, give me 10 years and I'll take you. And she said, okay. And we never talked about it. Like, it wasn't something we were trying to do. It was just in the back of her mind, it was going to happen one day. In the back of my mind, it was going to happen within 10 years. And that period goes by quick when you're starting a profession. And it goes by even quicker once you become parents. So for our 10-year anniversary, I couldn't do that trip. Because I did not feel comfortable, and I knew she wouldn't feel comfortable.
I was still nursing.
Yes. Going to, French Polynesia for our honeymoon. So instead I said, I want to go somewhere closer, but I still want to do something special. We have family that can come take care of the kids, and we'll only go for, 4 days or a long weekend. And I started looking for places, and I found this place. I was like, this is going to be great. Our anniversary is in June. This place is being rebuilt. It was supposed to be done in March. And I'm working with a company to help me figure out the itinerary and all of this. March comes and goes. April comes and goes. And now the company's saying, book your flights, book your flights. The flights are getting more expensive. The hotel still hasn't opened, but they have this panoramic room where you're essentially outside looking all around the island or, the resort. And that's the room that I wanted. So May comes, and now the hotel has opened, and they're telling me to book the tickets, but this wing where this room is has not opened. They're still doing construction in that wing. And now the prices are going up and up and up. And I'm still saying I'm not booking until either you cover the cost of me canceling my airfare if this room isn't ready, or find me another one. At that point, they can't find anything else that's even near as special as I wanted. So it got to like May 29th or 30th, the week before we had to go. And I have to tell people to come to Boston to take care of the kids and all of this. And it just wasn't ready. They've told me that week, it will be ready for you on Friday. You'll be the first people to stay in the room. And I was like, nope, abort. I'm not doing that.
Right.
And at that point, I was really disappointed that it couldn't happen. And I don't know, I can't remember what your expectations were. You clearly thought there was something happening for a 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
And instead, not my finest moment. There was absolutely nothing. Like we didn't, I was frustrated by that experience. This thing fell apart so hard that even the restaurant, like trying to get a good restaurant for our anniversary wasn't
it was
working.
so close to the
Yeah,
date
I blew
of
it.
our
Like it was so done. And it landed that year, on a Friday night or something.
Yeah.
I tried to find the best restaurant near us, and it's a Mexican restaurant that's like 0.2 miles, like half a kilometer from our house.
Because
did we even drive?
I don't.
We must have. I must have
drove.
like taken the car and driven a long way just to make it seem. And you're like, wait, am I right here? I walked by this place in my robe. So we went for dinner. We had the most meaningless conversation, like nothing of substance. Our emotional garage doors were at the bottom, like almost closed. And I explained the Mexico thing a little bit. I don't think you could hear through the red in your eyes.
I didn't say anything.
No,
for the
she didn't say
record.
anything. Literally, I sat there explaining, ate her nachos. We finished the meal. She walked home. I paid the bill. I came home. We went to bed. And the next day, we're like, okay, who wants cereal?
Right.
Like, it's like we did not have an anniversary.
Yeah.
And we just let it slip.
Yeah.
People calling, happy anniversary, how many years? 10. What did you do? Oh, yeah, we went to Mexicali's, which is a great place for a Tuesday night, not for your 10-year anniversary. It wasn't Mexicali. There was some other restaurant there that failed.
Yeah.
And then it became Mexicali.
Yeah.
So for our 11th anniversary, 360 days later of not talking to each other
No, we spoke.
and living, and she moved out. We had your parents come to Boston to take care of Zara, but we didn't want anyone to have to manage. The kids were so young, it was a handful.
Yeah.
So
So we split the kids up.
We split the kids up.
And we did
and then
it right.
we flew, and we were gone for like 10 days.
And I got my overwater bungalow.
You got your bungalow. We went to LA for a layover.
Yeah.
You still didn't know where we were going. I didn't tell you. You didn't know till we got to LA that we were going to French Polynesia. And I had the option. I still remember everyone talks about Bora Bora,
Yeah.
but there's this other island called Moorea
Yeah.
where Bora Bora gets its prestige and its brand because of its coral reef.
Yeah.
So it's amazing for
Divers and
snorkelers. We're not snorkelers. And to go from Moorea to Bora Bora, and a lot of people do both, you lose a day in that travel. Even though you're going from one to Tahiti to the other, it's still a day. You're checking out. And many hotels have the ability to stay in both.
Yeah.
And I said, no, we'll just stay here
And it was
for the whole
amazing.
time.
It was an amazing
we
trip.
hiked.
Yeah.
We got our overwater bungalow. We did like yoga in the morning. We swam. We jumped into the ocean. Yeah. We went bike riding. We saw a million rainbows. We had a meal with locals. We did a lot of things that trip. We met some friends who we're still in touch with today.
Yeah. We should call them. They had an anniversary too.
That's right. Yeah. Because their anniversary is at the same time. See if they went to a Mexican restaurant, if they went to a hotel. So that was, so we did it. It took 11 years instead of 10.
And so all this to say, we started with this story this year when, when we were talking about what we wanted to do. I said, listen, we don't need to do this big thing.
Because it's a milestone.
But
it's not a milestone.
I want to just acknowledge that it's something special.
Because you're like, in the past, you're used to not talking to me this day.
No, that's not true.
So you're like, oh, God, we have to go for nachos.
That's not true.
I should have got nachos in the hotel room. That's what I should have done.
Been funny. Next year.
We
still have a whole half
maybe this
of
is a
episode.
two-parter.
This is a part. Yes, this is going to be.
We've never done
one,
a two-part.
No.
Or maybe we just won't do part 2.
Oh my god.
Come back next week to find out.
Should I sing a song?
No. Sing the ingredients of the cereal.
Yes.
Oats. Whole grain oats. Why you ask such questions? Can you sing? Some people say that as like a compliment. Oh, girl, you're so good. You can sing the dictionary. How can you sing the dictionary? No one knows the first 3 words.
I was going to sing the song that we said we're going to save for the end. You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. You're still the one that I love, the only one I dream of. You're still the one I kiss good night. You're still the one.